right now on News Channel 8 at 8.
We will defend this case on every level. We will fight on every hill. We will prove his innocence every way. Dana Stubblefield is 100% categorically innocent of all of these charges.
A former NFL star is charged with raping a mentally disabled woman.
You look at the photo, it's really hard to even see.
A teenager is under arrest for what he did in a high school yearbook picture.
My name was nowhere anywhere. Since when does the state of Florida say it's yours when your parents die?
This is another example of the banks not doing their job efficiently and effectively.
An 8 on Your Side investigation. Why a bank is suing a local woman over her parents' reverse mortgage.
News Channel 8 at 8 begins now.
Good evening, I'm Jen Holloway.
And I'm Josh Benson. Thanks for being with us tonight. Well, the Indiana primary is making headlines in politics tonight. NBC News just projected that Donald Trump will win the Republican presidential primary. This is a devastating blow to the Cruz campaign. Trump's win clears an easy path toward that party's nomination.
Let's get straight to our D.C. Bureau. National correspondent Mark Meredith joins us now live at 8:01. Mark, what does all of this mean for the race?
Well, you bring up a good point right now. It is a major blow to Ted Cruz's campaign. He really put a lot of resources into Indiana. He also mentioned, of course, that he was naming his running mate, Carly Fiorina, in Hoosier country last week, and it didn't seem to do anything to move the needle. The results, as they're still coming in right now, NBC News projecting that, of course, Donald Trump will win the state's delegates. The question is how many? There were 57 delegates up for grabs. Right now, he's looking to walk away with at least 45, and that number could grow. This is horrible news for Ted Cruz, and the strategy that he was hoping was going to change the game, it just wasn't able to do anything to really move the needle for him. And we're still waiting to hear from both of these candidates. We expect Trump to speak from New York really any second now at Trump Tower, in which we expect he'll certainly call out Ted Cruz, saying that this race really is decided, and we may not even have to talk about a contested convention anymore. What I do want to show you, though, is what the numbers were like in the Republican delegate count before tonight's vote. So this was before the Indiana results, and you can see how big of a lead Donald Trump had already going into Indiana, with Ted Cruz there in the mid-500s and Ohio Governor John Kasich a distant third, really not even showing up on the map in comparison to where Trump is trying to hit that magic number that would get him the nomination. We should also mention here, we want to take a look at the Democratic race. This is the delegate count before Indiana voted, and you can see why Hillary Clinton is in a strong lead right now, about 800 delegates ahead of Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders. We should show the race right now in Indiana for Democrats simply too close to call. Bernie Sanders is not in Indiana tonight. In fact, he's speaking right now in Kentucky. We're still waiting to hear from Hillary Clinton. As for the results itself, both candidates are going to walk away with some delegates. Nobody's going to have enough for the nomination in either party tonight, but this was a big night to kind of show us, Jen and Josh, where the election is going to be going forward.
Yeah, Mark, we're talking about crunching the delegate counts here. So do you think a big Trump victory tonight could actually seal the deal for Trump before the California votes come out in June?
Maybe not necessarily before California, but California could put him over the top. For so long now, we've been talking about what the chaos would be like in Cleveland. But if this path continues, where it's Trump that's able just to sweep these states. We've got Nebraska, West Virginia voting next Tuesday. He wins those. All this adds him is closer and closer to the delegate count, and it's hard to see how there would be any real fight in Cleveland. Now, if Cruz does surprise us, somehow takes away a win in Washington State on the 24th, that would be something that could be a game changer. But Josh, as anybody has been watching as close as you guys have, who really knows what's going to happen next? Right, and talks of that contested convention start to quietly go away more and more, so we will wait to see what happens. Mark Meredith live for us in our D.C. Bureau. Mark, thanks so much. Well, for developments on the race for the White House and breaking news alerts right to your phone, you can download the free News Channel 8 app.
After 123 years, the Tampa Tribune is no more. Its rival, the Tampa Bay Times, it bought the paper and immediately shut it down. Mary McGuire joins us now live at 8:04 outside the Trib's headquarters in Tampa. Mary, after the news broke, we heard security guards actually brought in boxes for employees right away. Is that right?
Yes, it certainly is right. And News Channel 8 is actually right next door to the Tribune's headquarters, and employees were pouring out of work for the very last time this afternoon, and they tell us they are in shock.
Yeah, it hurts.
Gail Williams worked for the Tampa Tribune for 31 years and admits most employees have known for some years the paper and their jobs were coming to an end. Here is video from the Times of the last Tampa Tribune being printed. In recent months, the Trib had been printed on the presses of the Tampa Bay Times, two papers that were rivals for years, in the end working together to survive.
No one likes to see the kind of pressures that have been on the newspaper business for the last several years, and in fact, many branches of the media. I think this is a way for the Tampa Bay region to make a strong, vibrant newspaper even better by absorbing some of the strengths of the Tribune into the Times.
The Times CEO telling a news conference this afternoon the remaining paper will be stronger. Mayor Bob Buckhorn even reacting to the news in a press conference late this afternoon.
The Tribune basically was being bled to death. There wasn't a reinvestment on the personnel side. I mean, those folks that were surviving there were covering multiple beats as best they can and still putting out that newspaper every day, and they should be commended for that.
Mayor Buckhorn also said that this was a sad day for Tampa, but that this is a reality for modern journalism. The CEO of the Times said that more than 100 people will lose their jobs as a result of this sale. Jen and Josh.
Mary, do we know the selling price for the Tribune yet?
We asked the Times CEO about that, and he said that he could not disclose those numbers, that both the Tribune and the Times would have to agree to disclose that information, and they haven't at this time.
All right, Mary, thank you for reporting live tonight.
New at 8 tonight, a former NFL star is responding to accusations that he raped a mentally disabled woman. Dana Stubblefield is accused of raping her at his home when she was interviewing for a babysitting job. Prosecutors say she reported it immediately and underwent a medical exam. They claim the DNA matched Stubblefield's DNA, but he says the sex was consensual.
This is an issue that's very close to me. One of my primary charities is Special Olympics, something that's true and dear to my heart. This is why these allegations hurt me so badly.
Now, his attorneys argue they had consensual sex over a year ago, but were only just now notified of the charges. Stubblefield could face up to 16 years in prison if convicted.
A teenager is now facing 70 charges for a picture in his high school yearbook. Hunter Osburn was arrested in Mesa, Arizona, and he may now have to register as a sex offender for the rest of his life. It's all because of a prank gone terribly wrong. He told investigators his teammate dared him to expose himself in a photo. Hunter is now facing 69 misdemeanor counts of indecent exposure and 1 felony count of providing obscene material to a minor.
Everybody has one thing or more that they do in life that they wish they hadn't done.
I don't think he deserves to have his life ruined for this one small thing.
More than 1,000 people signed a petition on change.org asking for those charges to be dropped. Many are also bringing up the point of why the person who took the photo and the yearbook editor did not notice a photo before being published.
The former pharmaceutical CEO, dubbed the most hated man in America, could face some new charges. Martin Shkreli is already charged with securities fraud, but he had a pretrial hearing in New York City today, and we learned federal prosecutors could bring a new indictment within a month. Shkreli gained notoriety when he hiked the price of a life-saving drug from $13.50 to $750 per pill.
And now to an 8 on your side. Consumer alert. Johnson & Johnson has been ordered to pay a woman $55 million over a talcum powder lawsuit. The woman claimed that the powder gave her ovarian cancer. Johnson & Johnson plans to appeal that verdict. It's not the first judgment against the company. In January, they paid $72 million to the family of a woman who died from ovarian cancer after using that powder for many years.
Police officers, sheriff's deputies, city leaders, and members of the community gathered together today to honor fallen officers and their families. The ceremony included a 21-gun salute, taps, and a flyover by the Tampa Police Aviation Unit. They recognized the sacrifice of 31 Tampa police officers who lost their lives in the line of duty.
Well, a little boy who's battling a life-threatening illness, he got a very wonderful surprise earlier today. All 6-year-old James Dolan wants to be when he grows up a pirate, and today his wish came true. Tech Data and the Ye Mystic crew of Gasparilla teamed together to throw James a party in Tampa. And during the Pirate Theme Palooza, they presented James with a certificate to be an honorary pirate of their crew He even got his own pirate costume. Handsome little boy.
Yes, and the Tampa Bay Lightning are in New York tonight for the road to the Cup. Taking a live look here at Thunder Alley, where a huge watch party is being held. Right now, they're tied with the New York Islanders 1-1 as we approach the end of the first period. And tonight gives the Bolts a chance to pull ahead and build some much-needed momentum. So coming up in 20 minutes, we're going to check in with Melanie Michael, who shows us how the Bay Area is celebrating the Bolts. And you know they do it well. We also have continuing coverage of the Lightning's road to the Cup. You don't miss our post-game special. It'll follow our 11 p.m. newscast tonight on News Channel 8.
Lucky for those celebrating outside tonight. They've got great weather.
Nice
Julie
weather.
Phillips joins us now with more.
Yes, rain avoiding downtown Tampa today. So we're thrilled about that. We all have on our Bolts blue, too.
Yes, we
That's
do.
right.
We are ready to go. Hopefully the Bolts
Support
pull out a
right there.
win. And some changes, though. Thankfully, the watch party not tomorrow, because check out that front off to our west. Notice a severe thunderstorm watch for Georgia, parts of South Carolina, and the Panhandle. Well, this front's heading our way, and with it, we'll see a whole lot more rain as we head into tomorrow. But at this point, all of the storms have pushed off towards the east coast of Florida, although we will see possibly some showers and isolated storms developing as we head into the overnight hours tonight. But right now, temperature's still warm. It's 80 in Tampa, 78 in Weeki Wachee, it's 78 in Brooksville, 82 currently in the Lakeland. So still warm, still a little bit on the muggy side, and a few storms will be possible in our inland spots through the evening hours. But check out tomorrow's rain chances. They're going up to 80%. So pretty much you're guaranteed you'll see some rain tomorrow. The potential to see some stronger storms as well. So we'll go over that coming up in a few minutes.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you much.
Coming up next on News Channel 8 at 8 on Great 38.
Today on Better Call Bankin', I'm trying to help this woman who is stuck in a nightmare caused by her parents' reverse mortgage. And along the way, I've uncovered some information that could help you from getting caught up in this kind of disaster.
You're watching Tampa Bay's most convenient primetime newscast. This is News Channel 8 at 8 on Great 38.